Hi, how are you doing everybody? Welcome to Russell Heritage Golf. Today we're going to be talking about the right shoulder movement in the downswing. The right shoulder, in my opinion, should be something that would be moving as a cause of something else. So I don't think it necessarily warrants too much of a conscious thought. But again, you know, feelings are relative to every person. So if it's working for you, then absolutely fine. We tend to see a variety of differences in the right shoulder functionality with professional golfers. In terms of, we see some golfers that the right shoulder in transition really drops down, and we see other golfers where it doesn't so much. We see some golfers at impact where the shoulders, should we say, look much squarer, more like so, and we see some golfers that have a smaller amount of, should we say, opening relative to the target line. So that's why the shoulder will either look a little this way or it potentially looks more down this way. I think, like I said, my hesitation is that I think that people that tend to focus on the right shoulder are golfers that they know that they maybe get a little out to in, and then they try and get this feeling of dropping the shoulder more down towards the side of them to kind of neutralise the club path. I think it's okay. I think my hesitation with it is that I think that too much of the consciousness on that thought can potentially blockade your pathway in terms of rotation in the through swing. So again, I think that for somebody who is vulnerable of swinging slightly out to in and getting excessive curvature or whatever it might be, I think with a small amount of practice, you're not going to find it too hard to drop the shoulder and then excessively use the hands to be able to turn what is currently, shall we say, more of a fade into potentially what will quickly become more of a hook. So I think what you're better off doing, in my opinion, is to try and use your practice time at home, down the driving range, swing thoughts on the course. So maybe sometimes also think a little bit about the bigger picture as to what it is. So what should happen, and the thing that influences the shoulder movement, is that it's very much what's known as the separation in the early part of the downswing. So if I kind of place one cane through my front two belt loops, and again you can kind of do this exercise at home, and then place another cane across my shoulders. When we kind of swing back in the backswing position, although your shoulders will rotate at a larger amount than the lower body, but we can generally suggest that they're working, should we say, at the same sort of intensity of feeling. So although they won't be parallel to each other, the feeling is that they are operating very much in that sort of way. If I was then to initiate the downswing at the same rate of rotation, which means my lower and my upper body rotate at the same time, this would be very commonly known as an over-the-top move. So this would be kind of, I suppose, is classed as your right shoulder smothering the ball. So if I kind of hold the club like so as well, and I do the same sort of thing, you can see the way the shoulder comes over. What should happen though, in my opinion, again, is that you shouldn't necessarily reduce the feeling of the rotation of the upper body in terms of try and move more this way. What I would do is I'd try and work on the lower body leading more. See, then as the lower body starts to lead more, we can now see the way there is a difference between the two canes. So instead of working at the same rate like so, now all of a sudden I'm still retaining the same feeling of my rotation of the upper body, but what we can start to see now is that the shoulder starts to drop. Now, depending on your range of motion, i.e. the amount that you feel like you physically can separate, will change how your golf swing looks. So somebody like DJ, who creates a huge amount of separation, the shoulder will really drop. Similar to swings have gone by like Tiger. The more that the lower body rotates, should we say, independently away from the upper, I say independently, just should we say at a faster rate of rotation than the upper, then what will happen is the shoulder will drop down much more like so. If that doesn't happen so much, then the shoulder is going to drop less. But you know, this is where your trail arm comes in, like we've been talking about recently on the channel. It's like you want to try and rotate in posture and then use your trail arm to support your ability to swing on plane, not necessarily change your body rotation to support your ability to swing on plane. So your shoulder, we look at DJ, if I kind of mimic that, you know, big transition, a big separation, and then coming in towards impact is the reason why you'd have the ability to look this sort of way. That's why other pros look a little bit more this way. It's because there wouldn't be a vast amount of separation in that transition. So if you're somebody who's been thinking about the shoulder and it's working well for you, then 100% continue to do it. But if you're somebody who's been trying to work on the right shoulder in the downswing and you feel like you do get stuck in a little bit flippy, then that's possibly the reason as to why that's happening. So golf is massively about probability. And one of the big things that I'm going to be talking about on the channel very soon, now the weather's getting better, is break 100, break 90, break 80, break 70 program. And one of the first consistencies is going to be your ability in contact. You're going to struggle with contact if you don't move your body in some sort of sequencing and some sort of rotational manner. Now, going back to the point upon, if I now use my golf club and mimic kind of DJ's motion, he'd look this way. The less you can go, then that's absolutely fine. Like I said, if you end up just being able to do a small amount of separation, then obviously you would get more of the feeling that the arms are coming down with you as well to again help you stay on plane. So it just has to align basically with your physical capabilities. If you're somebody who has like a fusion of the spine, which means that you won't be able to separate at all, then obviously you're going to have to just think more about your arms coming down to stop you swinging over the top. If you're somebody who's tried the separation and you struggle with it, which is the lower body moving independently from the upper, then check things like your posture. So it's normally because you're sticking your bum out too much, and then it feels uncomfortable. Or the latter thing is it'll be a coordination issue more so than anything else. But we'll keep working on it. We'll keep working on drills and stuff that you can do at home down the driving range. But today's video about the shoulder in the downswing is that as a massive consciousness, I'm concerned that it gets golfers moving this way and finishing this way, as opposed to it moving through towards the target. So the reason why it drops is because of the different rate of rotation of the lower body against the upper body, which is kind of what we define as that sort of transitional / separation area in the golf swing. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Always appreciate a thumbs up and a like. Remember, it's absolutely free to press that subscribe button. Press the little bell icon as well, means you receive notifications every time a new video comes out. The tip at the moment very much is body movement first, then move your hands and arms to align the club back up towards plane. Catch you with you soon.